What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So amp simulators, there are a ton of different amp simulators out there anymore, and honestly, if you're wanting to get into the world of amp sims, it can be a little bit daunting. I did a video a few weeks ago that you can check out talking about how tube amplifiers might be taking more of a backseat role and letting the more digital realm like modelers and simulators take more of a head charge on the music industry. I definitely don't think that tube amplifiers are going to be going away anytime soon, but I think they will have their place, and then I think the digital realm will have its place as well. And when you think about amp sims, they are more readily available, and also the convenience is unmatched. So I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 must-have amp sims. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 1 is the Amped Icon from ML Soundlab. So ML Soundlab has been around for quite some time now, and they have been absolutely killing it with their Miko impulse response plugin and their whole catalog of awesome amp sims, which are all amazing in their own way. But I chose the Amped Icon because it is my favorite out of all of them. It captures the grit, aggression, and dirty tones of the EVH 5150 Iconic Series amplifier, which is one of my favorite amplifiers to record with outside of the digital realm. The Amped Icon gives you the full aggressiveness of the EVH 5150 Iconic, giving you access to all the different channels that you will find on the amplifier, including the use of the burn switch, which on the amplifier works as a type of boost. If that is not enough for you, you have the full array of ML Soundlab guitar pedals, including a noise gate, a drive, a reverb, and a delay, and even more than that. On top of that, you have a whole IR section where you can change in microphones, you can move them around the cone of the speaker, or even completely change out the speaker itself. Or if that's not enough for you, you can totally bypass the IR section and throw in your own third-party impulse responses. The Amped Icon is definitely an all-in-one package. Number 2 is the Bogren Digital Ampknob 6606 Plus, which is modeled after the very first tube amplifier that I ever owned, and yes, this is a bit of a nostalgia kick for me. It is the PV6505 Plus, and man, does Bogren really capture the tone and characteristics of the 6505 Plus. The idea behind the Ampknob series is that you will get an amazing mix-ready tone out of a single gain knob. So you can choose how much gain, how much distortion that you truly want on your tone. And something that Bogren has added to the newer editions of the Ampknob series is a boost switch. So if you need a little bit of extra aggression, a little bit more grit, a little bit more push, you can do it with that. Of course, there is a noise gate that you can mess around with in the settings section, and there is a tuner as well in this plugin. It is very minimal, very bare bones, and the 6606 Plus amp knob is my absolute favorite. This one was captured so well by Bogren Digital. I absolutely love it, and I would recommend it to just about anyone, especially people that are just starting out on their tone chasing journey, because this will give you a great starting point to show you this is what a mix ready tone will sound like, or even anyone that is just starting on their amp simulator journey, because as bare bones as this plugin is, this is a perfect starting point for you to kind of mess around with some stuff and get amazing tones super easily. At number 3, giving you the most brutal tone, is the Neural DSP Fortin NTS suite, which is modeled after the famous Fortin Natos amplifier. And man, like I said, it just gives you the most brutal of tones. Neural DSP did an amazing job on this, and Neural DSP has been giving us really quality plugin simulators for a long time now, giving us the most pristine of cleans and the most brutal of heavy tones out there. And the Fortin NTS suite is my absolute favorite, and it does really well with 7-string and 8-string guitars. In classic Neural DSP fashion, they give you all the different features that come on the Fortin ATOS amplifier, including 2 customizable channels and a full array of famous Fortin pedals, including the Zool noise gate, the hex drive, and the grind pedal. And of course, it wouldn't be a Neural DSP plugin without the IR section, where you can switch in and out different microphones, you can move them around, change the speakers, and of course, load in your own third-party impulse responses. If you are looking for the most brutal of tones, I would say the Neural DSP Fortin NTS suite is where it's at for you. Number 4 is the 8180 from Nembrini Audio. So if you are looking to capture that classic 5150 block letter sound, then look no further. Nembrini Audio has you covered with the 8180. It is full, it is chunky. They really did an amazing job on this amp simulator. It has all the tonality that you would want and expect out of a 5150 block letter amplifier, just in an amp simulator. The 8180 interface is mapped out just like a classic 5150, so motivating through it should be super easy to do. There is an IR section on this plugin, which is not as pretty as the Neural DSP one or the ML Soundlab one, but just as effective. You can swap in and out different microphones, you can move them around, you can also choose your different speakers, or just bypass the whole thing and use your own third-party IRs. Next to that is the filter section, which will have something like your high-pass filter or your low-pass filter, allowing you to completely sculpt your perfect tone. And then below that is a noise gate section, and you guys know me, I am a huge fan of a great noise gate. Nembrini Audio definitely did an awesome job capturing that classic tone of a block letter 5150 amp in their 8180 amp simulator, and I am super pumped about it. It's definitely become one of my favorites for sure. Before we move on to the final amp simulator on my list, let's talk a little bit about today's sponsor, Eargasm Earplugs. Let's be honest, as musicians, producers, and regular concert goers, our ears are our most important tools, so why wouldn't we want to protect them from any kind of damage? And thanks to the Eargasm high fidelity earplugs, that makes that job a lot easier. The Eargasm high fidelity earplugs are constructed of a very soft silicone that make them really comfortable when you have them in. And if you're worried about losing any earplugs or leaving them behind, Eargasm gives you a really nice metal case that hooks to your car keys so that no matter where you are, your earplugs are there too. The best part about the Eargasm high fidelity earplugs is that they attenuate the loudness on the outside while keeping all the details nice and crystal clear using the filter that's in the center of the plug. Offering a noise reduction rate of 16 decibels will ensure that you protect your hearing in any loud situation, because when you damage your hearing, there is no going back. Use code HIGHIMPACTAUDIO right now to get 10% off your order from Eargasm. The only thing I can say is, protect your hearing, guys. Let's get back to the video. And the final amp simulator on my list today is the AutoAudio 1111. Yes, I did have to actually look up and see what this amp simulator was actually called, because it is just Roman numerals going across the front of it, but it is considered the AutoAudio 1111. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is the ultimate amp simulator on this list today. Even though it's just an amp section and a cab section with no effects, no pedals whatsoever, it has tons and tons of different features on it, and it is made for drop tune guitars. Like I said, the AutoAudio 11 has so many different features on it. Let's see if I can even touch on all of them. There are 9 different impedance curves for you to choose from, and with each different impedance curve, the amplifier will react differently to your guitar playing. There are 2 different mods for you to choose from. There is a noise gate, there is a 10 dB boost that you can use. You can also choose from 3 different power tubes in the power section, and you can also even bypass the power section if you so choose. You can even mess with the sag on this amplifier if you really want to, which is crazy. There is an IR section, which isn't quite as fancy with moving the microphones around or switching them in and out with other microphones like some of the other simulators on this list, but they are really good impulse responses. And if you don't like them, you can just bypass the impulse response section and load in your own third-party impulse responses. I think AutoAudio really gave you the guitar tone in your hands and allowed you to really sculpt and figure out exactly what you want to hear in your guitar tone. And it might not be quite as user-friendly as some of the other simulators on this list, but if you know what you're doing, you can really get something extremely special out of it. And those are my top 5 must-have amp simulators. If you'd like to get your hands on any of them, I will have the links for them down in the description below. Also, if you have a favorite amp simulator that you just love to work with, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to chat with you about it. And if it's an amp simulator that I just have not checked out yet, I would love to bring it on the channel here and see what it's all about. If you are enjoying my videos in any way, shape, or form, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. My name is Chris with High Impact Audio, and I will see you next time.